not sure what's going on with TikTok. It seems to be having an interesting moment starting up. Not sure what's going on there. I might have to stop it and start it again. So just bear with me. I'm not quite sure what's going on with that. Technical difficulties. What else is new, hey? Okay, let's try it again. Mind you, it did take my topic out. But... So just hang on. We're dealing with like some time. It was one of those. I don't know what's going on with like some of my technical issues. Good morning, Connie. How are you, love? So like, just I don't know. I was trying to upload the thing from the full moon ceremony last night, and it sat all night trying to upload into the divine feminine. And I got up this morning, and the whole circle, right? If it was to go around and fill up the circle to say the whole thing had been uploaded, it had like a quarter of it, and that was from sitting all night. I'm trying to get on to TikTok, but it's, I don't know, there's something going on with its connectivity. It's just Mars, I think, is in retrograde. I'm not sure. I have to look into that. And maybe Mercury is right now. I don't know. But let's just go without it. We'll go without a title thing on if it'll go. Let's see. I don't know. We just have no title this time. If it even starts up, because last time it went into low. Hello, Linda. I'm good. How are you? We had a wonderful new moon ceremony last night. And it went very well. And besides the fact that, you know, the slow issues with getting it uploaded to the system. So I'm just going to do this. I think something happened last night with the internet, and I know, yeah, and I was going to go on there was just, for some reason it had, anyway, I was going to go on, oh, look, now it's live. That's awesome. Okay, we're good. We're up and running. We got everything going now. Interesting with just having the technical difficulties. So I've been trying to go live on, I was trying to go live on my phone as well to go on Instagram at the same time. And I broke the stand that my phone set, like this is the clamp part that would clamp on the desk. And this part here broke from, I'm like, what the heck? It's just, hi, Power Boy. How are you? Good morning. So we're just getting to the start of doing the collective reading. So we'll do the collective reading, and then we'll get the floor open for some individual card pulls for those that have time. But I have a hard stop today because I have education at 10:30. So I have a hard stop. There's no nothing. We gotta get there. So I put you down, Kelly, but let's get to the main reading, the collective reading first, and then we'll see where we get from that. Okay. So, and this is the card I pulled last night in the Divine Feminine in the same position in that protection mode. So let's see what our protection message is for Imagine, number 20. Illusions and wishful thinking rooted in a sense of lack have entered your life. Now may be the time to see things as they truly are and not as you had hoped or imagined they would be. So it's one of those reality check moments, right? Instead of how you think they are, you have to actually, no assumptions, right? What are the facts that you know about the situation? Release any fear, then envision anew. Perhaps you are anticipating that something fearful might happen and recreating that image of disaster over and over in your mind. So, when you get into that just worry stream, that's what this card's talking about. So like that catastrophizing, right? The universe responds to such projections, so be aware of this catastrophizing. No matter what, illusions and awfulizing are the misuse of imagination. Clear the inner slate and stay grounded, stay real. Only then can you truly have what you desire. So, just watch what your thoughts are doing, right? And we're not getting caught up in fear and, concern and worry and being stuck in that thought train. So the card I pulled from the astrology deck, so that we can learn a little bit about astrology, is the 8th house. And the 8th house is the house of Scorpio. The 9th house is the house of Sagittarius. Give me my free weeding. I have a story, or I have a phrase from childhood, and it was "Gimme, gimme, never gets." Don't you know your manners yet? Don't you remember saying that? Many of us from my age probably do. Good morning. Hi, what's your name? Because all I see is good morning. I'm at work. But if you put your name down, I'll definitely pull a card for you. Okay. So let's learn about the 8th house. Let's learn about the 8th house. I'm just teasing. It's very direct. If your chart were a village map, the 8th house would be on the corner of the red light district. So Scorpio, right? Think about Scorpio, the red light district. Next to a mortuary and a savings and loan. So it is a private house where we deal with the things we don't talk about in public: sex, death, loans, debts, psychic phenomena. Here we deal with other people's resources and how they are exchanged. Money, bodies, thoughts, work, and how we inherit goods and attitude. And you just had a full moon in your house. So it's your house's self. So you have to be looking at yourself. So this house can feel uncomfortable, but it's a house where we can transform. And we just got out of Scorpio season before Sagittarius. That's why we're all kind of reeling through all of the changes that were prompted through that. And it was a pretty heavy season, especially with the eclipse. So the action is to assess the power dynamics between you and other people around important resources like sex, money, and inheritances. Notice if a relative or boss withholds money until you behave, or if you or a lover withholds sex until some other need is met. Just get clear in your own mind if anyone is pulling strings, and try to heal dysfunctional dynamics with clear and healthy boundaries. Seduce honestly. Not all strange sexual dynamics or unusual financial arrangements, good morning, are a problem. If you understand your peculiarities and don't feel coerced or controlled by them, then they're just a part of who you are. Financial investors and advisors, consultants, minister, lovers, intuitives, brain trusts, auctioneers, and investigators all work with the 8th house of affairs. And if they work with integrity, do so productively. Develop your 2nd house resources, your own money, sense of worth, and body confidence to strengthen your freedom and bargaining power and operate in this realm with grace. Engage the resources handed to you, but make your own judgment calls. The 8th house calls for one last freedom: to acknowledge that death exists and be fully alive in response. The challenge is it can be tempting to manipulate by withholding love, power, or money, and hard to step away when someone else is jerking those chains. The gift is to face your worst fears and step through to feel that liberation. The trap of manipulation falls away when you don't bite the hook. So good message from our friend Scorpio in the 8th house. Okay, we've got a couple more to read before we're on to our main thing. But whoever went to work didn't tell me what their name is so that I could tell them with the card. Facebook user. Anyway, they whipped in and whipped out again. All right, Garden of Venus. How often do you need to speak to a manager? I don't know. So the Garden of Venus, the place of all is well, rest and renewal, self-acceptance. Good morning, Lisa, love. So you'd have to explain to me what you mean by that, Carter. How often do I need to speak to a manager? What do you mean by that? When the Garden of Venus appears, you are invited, actually summoned, to return to the pleasure garden of love. It is time to leave the field of battle. Put your sword away. There's nothing you need to defend anymore. Step through the gate into the garden of earthly delights. Bask in the joy of wish-fulfilling trees and the scent of healing flowers. You have returned home. You are weary, and it is time to rest deeply and be renewed. Go into the sacred garden alone, as there is no need for another to be present to experience its pleasure. Really stop looking for another. Enter by yourself. Allow your senses to intoxicate you. Leave all of it behind and lose your analytical mind and return to your body. Sounds like a great meditative opportunity. In the Garden of Venus, there is still a pond that shows you your reflection when you stoop down to drink. Who is that staring back at you? Look at who you've become. Rinse your face with these healing waters and practice deep acceptance. Love who you have turned into with all your imperfections and blemishes. The goddess Venus holds a mirror that allows you to see yourself in all your flawed beauty. Do not become caught in its spell. After a quick glance, take the mirror with you and return to the battlefield that you may reveal to others who they are becoming. Then you will no longer have use for your sword. I'm still curious, Carter. You didn't fill me in on that. What does that mean? Like, how often do I need to speak to a manager? I'm curious what your comment means. So then the final card with the tarot cards that I pulled is the Two of Pentacles. So let's see how that ties everything together. So I need to balance many aspects of self. There's definitely some balancing here. That in protection mode was talking about those fear thoughts, right? The things that are holding us back. The 8th house, we're looking into the house of sex and finance, but in that mysterious realm where things start to blend over and cross over into other people, and death and mystery. So looking at the darker side of ourselves. So letting go of fear, the darker side, having that beautiful oasis that they talked about in the, which I don't know why I threw the card over there, in the Garden of Venus, right? So come there and rest and relax and hi, Billy. Sorry, just no message came up on my feed that was a little bit just threw me. It made me read it. It made me read it. The Garden of Venus, right? So that's go into that. Find out who you are. Take that step back. So the Two of Pentacles, with all those roles and responsibility that you've been juggling, you may be feeling a bit imbalanced. Busy much? Maybe your calendar is totally overbooked and you're feeling the stress of being stretched in too many directions. You may feel the need to better balance dualities and opposing aspects of your life. Your time alone versus your time with others. Hi, how are you, Sharni? Sharni, hi. And hi, user again. Your time alone versus your time with others, or your material life versus your spiritual life, etc. Make sure you aren't investing too many resources in one area at the expense of another, especially when both are equally as important. Even though this card suggests that you are likely able to manage it all, do you desire this much juggling? Put some of your precious energy into creating a balance that you absolutely love, one that will allow you time to work, play, love, and create. This equilibrium will not take from your reserves of energy, but add to it. I create an equilibrium in my life that allows me to be my best self. So yeah, I mean, juggling the things that are important to us, right? And making sure that we're not spending too much on one area. If you were to ask people, like, what do you put more of a focus on, your mental, spiritual, or physical health? A lot of people you'll see them and they're at the gym all the time. So those people are people that put a lot of energy into their they put a lot of energy into their physical appearance, right? That's very important to them. So they're hitting the gym, they're putting in hours of work every day at the gym. And then you have others who put a lot into their mental, right? They'll be at the library, or they'll be taking another course, or they'll be doing more education. So they keep their, some people as their spiritual, right? They're, they feel like that's, they're praying, they're meditating, they're, and interacting in that way. But you have to have all of them. You have to have a balance between them, right? You have to make sure that they're all healthy, not just one sector. Okay, so I had Kelly for a card first, and then we can open it up and get some more cards going. Good morning, Jenny Lynn. How are you, love? Had a wonderful full moon last night. Although I feel very tired today because I was up past my bedtime. And I think I said hi to Billy. And you definitely can have a card, Sharni. Oh yeah, Michael. We had Michael on as well. I don't know if he stayed. And Sharni. Okay, so this card's for Kelly. Anisa. Connie, definitely. I have the hiccups. Trying to wake up. Me too. Me too. And now I got the little bit of a hiccup thing going on. So it's time to sit. I let that get a little cold. Okay, Kelly. Faded, or sorry, blessed. There's similar pictures. Blessed in protection mode. So let's see what blessed in protection mode is about. It's number 22. Okay. So in protection mode, blessed, humility is called for now, as grace is an unearned gift. You didn't gain this by your own desires or actions. To be who you need to be, you can no longer do what you did. In a way, you have hit rock bottom, and what is required now is nothing less than total surrender. Then you will be blessed. Does that sit with you? If it's in the upright position, right? Something wonderful that is unearned and unexpected, grace that is unforeseen from spirit. So it's like, when something just falls in your lap and you're like, oh, wow, like you feel, and you gotta, it's like getting, yeah. Okay. So, with that being in the protection mode, right? It's just spend some time, with you, right? To be that whole statement, to be who you need to be, you can't to be who you need to be, you can no longer do what you did, right? Most of us want to change in some capacity, and we can't change if we stay the same, right? But we get up and we do the same day. And instead of making any changes to it, but you have to put those changes in there. So if you want to be somebody that's healthy, you actually have to eat healthy. You have to, get exercise or movement, that kind of thing. So you can't just keep saying, I want to get healthy, but make no changes. You can definitely have a card. And is that Linda or Billy? Either way, I'm putting Linda's name down for the card. So yeah, just focus on you. Just think about who you are, how you want to show up. And go from there. Michael, are you still there? He might have left after. He's a Gemini, so very blunt, but direct. I guess direct is the better word. Sagittarius can be blunt too. We like to tell the truth, and sometimes we don't necessarily avoid making sure people's feelings get hurt. Well, I haven't seen Michael come up and ask for cards, so I'm on to the next one. Sharni, this is yours. Sharni Clark. If I read your name right. It's hard on TikTok because they're pretty small. But Sharni, this is for you. Unfinished symphony in the protection mode. I forgot last time to show the blessed. Good morning, Alexandria. So Sharni Clark, I think is what your name was. Yeah, Sharni Clark. If you had a specific area in which you wanted to ask the question, like if it's around relationship, but I'm going to give you the protection message anyway. So unfinished symphony, number 10, protection message. Okay. Okay, perfect. All right. Because it's just the protection message. When it's the protection message, that's what you get. So in protection, or in the normal phase, what it normally means is unfinished business, an incomplete lesson, lack of closure, and the need to make amends. When it's in protection, though, it's when unfinished business casts a shadow over your life. It is a reminder that procrastination is a form of self-sabotage. It is not in your best interest to stall. Even stumbling forward is better than holding back. Don't overthink things or let yourself get distracted. Just tie up any loose ends and deliver the results. Don't quit before the finish line. Spirit wants you to win. So are you procrastinating? Are you overthinking things right now? Is there a decision is there loose ends that you've got going on that you need to tie up? Like even in relationships, right? In a relationship, maybe there's a loose end. Yeah. Do you have a practice for dealing with overthinking? Or I went through a whole phase when I went through my healing journey, and one of the ways that I dealt with my overthinking mind was I created a worry time, so that when I worried outside of that time, I would say, now is not the time to worry. You can worry at the time that I had scheduled in my calendar, and I actually scheduled in the calendar. I'm going to worry at this specific time. So you just train your mind to say, this is not the time to worry. And it's an exercise of practice of your thoughts, right? That's why we try to get people to meditate, like why I do, is because I want you to learn how to take control of your thoughts, right? Because that's one of the best gifts that we can get. And in my Sharma, he likes to say, if you take control of your tongue, you can take control of your entire life, right? Because we take control of the words we speak. And if you think of the tongue as, in thought range as well, but it's also food, right? We won't be saying hurtful things. We won't be eating but things that are bad for us, stuff like that. Good morning, Madeline. How are you, love? So I don't know if a worry time would work for you, but that's one suggestion. Solution-based is another way to go through worrying, is by just doing solution-based. So you get into, how can I solve whatever this issue is? Instead of being in that worry train, you get into solution-based. So after Sharni is Anya or Nisa. Thanks. I'm trying to see where her name was so I can pronounce it or say it properly. Aniza. If you're still there, then this is your card. And then after Aniza, I wish whoever asked for a card that said that they were at work would love a card. But I don't know what their name was, so I don't know how to tell them that their card is here. So this is your card, dear. Ice cream cakes. You sure can. Ice cream cakes. My dog's watching out the window. So the card I pulled for you, Aniza, is happy. And did you have a specific area where you were looking for clarity? I mean, the card pretty much says happy. So whether it's in business or relationships, it's a happy sign for sure. Number 26. But if you had a specific area like relationships or finance or work or whatever, then I can tailor the message more specifically to that. So sometimes my dog just cracks me up. But anyway, I'll just give you the general message then, okay? So your desires are effortlessly fulfilled now. Find joy in the present moment, where whatever is happening. Hi, Miss Felice. Find joy in the present moment, whatever is happening, and be satisfied with things as they are. You're free from the shackles of longing, able to experience the liberation that comes from actually being happy moment to moment, for you have chosen happiness over yearning for it. Sometimes happiness really is a choice. It's as simple as that. You just wake up in the morning and you're choosing to I choose to have a good day. I choose to have a good day. And then you just go out and make it a good day. Right. And if it's not a good day, then change it. Change in your thoughts. Right. There are things that come in that are beyond our control, but how we react to it or how we interpret it is how we're going to feel it. So if like if you're in rush hour traffic and it's stop and go, if you're like, it gives me an opportunity to listen to some more music on my radio, or I'm listening to an audiobook. Cool. I get to hear more chapters before I get home. This is awesome. It's a different viewpoint than, oh my God, the traffic, I'm going to be right? How you look at it. So now's the time for feeling joy for the sake of joy and experiencing contentment. None of this is because of something outside yourself. Your happiness is a result of you being at one with Spirit's plan for your life. All is well. The tide is in for now. Enjoy playfully splashing in it. So flip that perspective, right? And just choose happiness. Choose happiness, and then you'll get into that joy state, and then things will just start to show up and start coming to you, right? When we're in our happy place, when we're dealing with joy, and that's why no matter how much work you're putting out into the world, like for me, I work from home and I have I do my thing through like phases, right? So today I know I want to sing for a little bit. I want to turn on the karaoke and just sing and dance for a little bit because I just want that energy. If I stay working all the time, then my mind gets focused in that work, task, right? From one task to the next task, work. And you become a production machine. Well, production isn't creative. For us to be creative, we really got to step back. And when you're in a happy place, when you're embodying that joy, you're vibrating at such a great level that things just magnetize themselves to you. It's like love. When you're in love, like think about the times like when you have that new fresh love and you got that bounce in your step and all of a sudden good things just start happening to you, right? Yeah, just choose to be happy. It's perfect. It's perfect, right? And it's not about, like when something comes up that's unexpected and that is a bad thing, you still acknowledge that and you give yourself the freedom to allow those emotions to pass through you, but then you choose to go back to that happy state or back. I'm pulling free cards. I need a chicken. I need a chicken man. Do you need a chicken man? I love it. All right. So after is Connie, and then Linda, and then ice cream skate. And then you're welcome, dear. I can put you both on there. So, and need a chicken man. I love it. I love the names on TikTok. And Debbie, I'll put you on the card. Yeah, exactly. You definitely can be Ms. Feliz. You are on the list. Yeah, people are a lot, and Ashley, I'll put you on the list too. We have become a culture or a society that's afraid to feel things, right? And even if it hurts, it's better to feel that hurt now and allow it fully to be expressed and go through your body than it is to shut it down because I just can't I can't deal with the pain, right? And then you end up holding it into your body and holding on to it and struggling. It's like, if somebody, let's say, not letting go, right? When you get into a relationship that ends, right? And you don't let go and you just pine and pine. You tie yourself up to that person energetically. Like you can't move on from that. That's where you participate in your own struggling, right? Yeah. Meanwhile, it's like, it's definitely a situational thing. It's a grief process. Right. Thanks, doctor, for trying to diagnose me with depression when I'm grieving. Hello, Charmaine. Good morning, justice for Mickey. I hope you get justice for Mickey. Okay, Connie, my love. New life in protection mode. So let's see what Connie's message is. Hello, Charmaine. And hello, Justice. New life, number 39. I should look at the card number. It's going to make it easier for me to find the card. Yes. For Crystal, I can definitely put you on the list, Crystal. Okay, Connie. You must acknowledge your inexperience and gently allow yourself to be like the delicate new bud opening. It's okay to admit you might not know something. You are at the beginning of things and haven't yet hit your stride. Be immersed in the newness of it all and don't try to rush the learning process. New life has its own timetable for maturity. Be here now. Life loves you. So you have to let me know if you have something new that's going on in your life. And if that's resonating with that, right? And if not, being in that beginner mindset, being in that Renee and Charmaine, there we go. Renee and Charmaine. With that beginner mindset, when we keep that beginner mindset and that curiosity, it makes us just so much more open to learning. Got you on the list, Jess. It makes us we learn so much easier, right? If you think to yourself, I don't know anything, when you go into something and you're open to learning it, you're going to learn it a lot better than if you go in with a preconceived idea of what you know, right? If I went into nursing, I've been nursing for 20 years. If I went into a nursing class and I was like, I know all this, I'm not going to learn anything new from it. So we always just have to keep that New mind is what that's telling you, Connie. That new mind. All right. So Linda, this is your card. And for anyone on TikTok, you guys have got it. You know, oh, look at that. We decided to go from the protection mode into the straight up mode for Linda. New life, Linda. So let's take a peek at new life, but in the non-protection mode. Number 39. Alrighty, so Linda, learning, yes. So if you do, you can always connect with me, Connie, if you'd like, and I can give you some help with that. But yeah, just the setting boundaries, that's a big step in the healing process is when you get to the point where you start setting those boundaries. So yeah, if you need any help with that, just let me know. So for Linda, new life. When spring awakens in the world, joy and excitement can be felt all around you and in your very core. Blossoms burst from trees overnight. Birds return home and sing their glorious song, and nature is full of promise. Miracles beckon all of us. This is one of those times in your life when new ideas inspire you and new opportunities bring you hope for seeing your dreams come true. Yes. I'll talk on that in a moment, Connie. All is well in your world, and you have the energy you need to feel renewed. Allow your heart to fill with enthusiasm. Let your light shine, for this is a time of good fortune. So it's a really good message for you, Linda. And it's hard because, I mean, it's not our responsibility, right? If I put boundaries, Connie had just put down, it's challenging because I don't like feeling like I'm hurting somebody when you're putting in those boundaries, right? Someone will come and ask you for something and it's more than what you can offer for them. So you're like, no, I can't do that, or I can't help you, or I can't, right? And when you put in those boundaries to protect, so that you keep your own energy or protect yourself, then, you know, people, they might get offended by that, but that's not your responsibility, right? Your responsibility isn't how they handle the fact that you can't help them. That's their responsibility to handle the fact that they've come and asked you for help, and it's not within your ability to do so. And people really seem upset more in the beginning because it's a change. People like to be able to just do what they want and get what they want from the people around them. So if they're used to taking advantage of you and you all of a sudden start putting boundaries in, well, that's going to really go against what they know, and they want to keep you in that spot. So sometimes they'll manipulate, or they'll actually make you feel bad because you put those boundaries in, because they want to keep you where they had you, which is taking advantage of you. But we're not responsible for the way that other people handle the information that we give them. We're just responsible for what we're doing. So if you're putting yourself first and you're putting the boundaries in for a good reason for you, then, you know, just reconfirm that with yourself, that I'm doing this for me, and, you know, they need to be responsible for them. After Linda is ice cream cakes. Ice cream cakes. I love it. So if you have a specific area in which you would like if you have a question or an area that you would like clarity or whatever, just let me know, and I will try to tailor the message around that. But if not, I'll just do a general, or if it comes up in protection, you just basically get the protection message. All right, let's see what we've got. Ooh. So I'm gonna help you with your anxiety. So I have different packages that I have available because I am a trauma wellness healer, but I also do oracle card readings. So I've combined my trauma wellness with the oracle cards. So I go through the oracle cards in a reading, and I do this either in an individual session, or I have a group format of the same program where every other week I do, and I had like complex PTSD, anxiety, panic disorder, depression. I was abused from pre-birth, but definitely like the earliest time with 6. So not yet, son, not yet, Alan. I can barely read your name. I took my glasses off, so your card hasn't come up yet. So for anxiety, this is one thing that would be really good for bringing you out of anxiety is doing this figure 8 around your eyes. And when you do this, it'll bring your parasympathetic nervous system on board, and you'll know that it's come on board because it will make you yawn or it will make you swallow. Okay, so you can do this to help bring your nervous system back on board. Okay, this one here I really liked. I liked it because it was portable. So I share this one with everyone. Is just rubbing your thumb against your fingers and really feel the sensation of your fingerprints and the touch that you're doing. And then you could repeat in your mind, where am I here? What time is it now? Where am I here? What time is it now? Slowing down your breathing. Right. So that was a really good one. Yeah, anxiety can get a bit much. So the card that I pulled for you is why. Why? Okay. Why is a good one. Number 31. Okay. 31. Hello, Nemo. Yeah. And what I can say for you, this is a really good one. If you can every day. So a lot of times what we do when we have anxiety is we'll wait. Reducing caffeine can definitely help. Like if you notice you get a spike from caffeine, then reduce it. Right. And if you start at 1 cup and then, you try 2 cups and you find that you get elevated from 2 cups, go back down to the 1 cup, but you'll find where you will feel yourself change from the, but we tend to just wait until we're having anxiety to then implement these measures. But if you practice the measures, that's a loss, sweetheart. Your poor tummy. Your poor tummy. As a nurse, my tummy even. Wow, they're still out there. Okay, I will do a look afterwards and I will report them because I'll find them. Yeah, I do run too. So if you practice these techniques, even when you're not in an anxious state, so that you get really good at practicing them for one, right? But we wait until we're in the moment when we start practicing them. But another one is if you put your hand here on your chest and you breathe in and out of that space and just slow and lengthen your breathing to about a 5-second inhale, 5-second exhale, or if you want to make your exhale even longer, this is a really good one to do. It's heart-focused breathing, and then you can add into it the thoughts of something that's joyful or something that you feel grateful for or something that you feel proud about, some love, like those really high positive emotions. And this will really help. Yeah, I would start trying to reduce some of the coffee, some of the coffee for sure. Okay, so why? There is great power in understanding your motives right now. The oracle asks you to be very clear about why you're asking this question, looking for this answer, behaving in this way, and most importantly, making this choice. Knowing your why is the key to fulfillment. When you are clear about it, your intention will then be a magnet for miracles. Motives define the nature of your experience. When you think about something, feel it, and then act on it. This invisible why is the life force energy within the seed, which brings it to life and holds the potential for growth. So if you're making some choices right now that they could be affecting the anxiety that you're experiencing, right? Oh, with the figure 8, once doing this, you can go in whichever direction feels more normal for you. And the same thing, like the amount of pressure that you put is what feels comfortable to you, and also the speed. So for me, I might like going like fairly fast, but for someone else, they might want to slow it down. So it's whatever speed, direction, and pressure that feels good for you is what you're going to want to do it with. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I went to mushroom coffee, and I reduced my coffee. So as a nurse, coffee, like we run on it, it's in our veins. So I reduced it down to 2 cups now. I have 1 mushroom coffee and 1 regular coffee, and I'm going to slowly transition out the regular coffee. So it's just the mushroom coffee, and then eventually probably just eliminate coffee at some point. But Yeah. Yeah. I used to be a nurse, Allie, but I'm not now. Now I'm a trauma wellness healer. So look at why you're doing the things that you're doing, because maybe some of the things that you're doing, you're causing your own struggling, or you're making it worse, right? So, and also understanding the why behind why you're making the decisions or make the choices that you make. Just having that being clear, right? You just having that makes it more clear. Yeah. So the way that what I did was, after I healed my trauma, I decided that I wanted to help other people heal their trauma. So I went out on my own and started up my own company. And I am nursing people, but in a different perspective, in a different way. So I like to combine my lived experience with trauma and overcoming all the traumas that I had and getting to this state. But with my nursing, with my trauma knowledge, and also with my spiritual stuff. So being an oracle and doing those things. So I have two different, like a package called a Sacred Journey Oracle package. And it's where we meet in bi-weekly, right? Exactly. I've had some really great compliments about how, like, what I share with people, but I do have packages available. I have a trauma wellness program, which is a very in-depth program, but I have a Sacred Journey Oracle package where we meet in bi-weekly sessions where I consult with the cards to see what our healing journey should be focused on. And then I give you practical tips and techniques on what to do with whatever information comes up. So let's say it brought up, stop catastrophizing, stop blowing things out of proportion. And I'd be like, this is how you deal with that. This is how you work through that type of a situation and what it actually, so I educate you and then I give you tips and techniques how to get past it. And then on the opposite week, I pull a card and give you a guided message that I email or text you. So that's my Sacred Journey. It's a 3-month package. And I have it in an individual format as well as a group format, because we can group heal like nobody's business. So those are those things that I have available, right? Collaborated, I've combined. All right. So after ice cream cakes is Anita, and then Ms. Felice, and then Ashley. Okay. So Anita, are you still there, love? To the sea in protection. You're welcome, ice cream cakes. I hope you come back. I do this 9 to 10 every Monday to Friday. And then sometimes on TikTok, I do a little bit longer, or I do other lives, but there tend to be an exchange, like a gift exchange. And when I get to 10 o'clock, then I stay, because TikTok's just like, hi, give us cards. And I'm like, okay, but you got to hit the like buttons. You got to smash it. You got to get this exploding, or you've got to give gifts to keep me going past 10 o'clock, because an hour for free seems to be enough for me in the mornings. Okay. To the sea, Anita, about should you move? This is in protection mode. Okay. And I have to say, I love your name, because that's just cheap. It's just, I can't. Anita Chicken Man. I don't even know what it means, but it just makes me chuckle. Okay. The message. When external conditions appear to block every attempt to move forward, there is no hidden message for you to decipher. Like the ocean, the tides of experience ebb and flow. You are in a natural cycle, so you know that things will flow again in due course. There's no cause for alarm. Stop resisting and fighting against the situation and learn to flow, even when the tide is going out. Relax and trust in the abundance that will soon be within your reach again. An ancient mariner's saying applies to you now. When fishermen cannot go to sea, they stay home and repair their nets. So I'm thinking it's telling you not to move. Right? Like, that's, as soon as I pulled the card and I saw it was in protection mode, it was like, if it was in the upright mode, I would say that's telling you to go to sea. That's telling you, right? That's telling you to go along your way. But with this mode, is telling you to just repair your nets. So work on things at home before moving forward. Okay. You're coming, Crystal. You're coming. Okay. Did that make sense? Hi, Melinda, love. And Debbie wants one for love. Okay. So next, after Anita, is Ms. Feliz. Okay. So Ms. Feliz. And then Ashley and Crystal. Okay. You're welcome, Anita. Does that make sense, though? Does it feel like there's some things that you need to tend to? No, I just talk a lot. I share a lot of like, and I've said how I should, like, my ramblings that I do in between are like, you know, demonstrating like doing this, but people don't want me to stop doing that. So that's what I've gotten from other people. They like the little ramblings that I add in. It's part of the show. And then the little tips and techniques. Okay, Ms. Feliz. Yeah. So yeah, just spend a little bit of time with that, and then in no time, it's just like the sea, right? Or like the tides. The tides come in and then the tides go out. Right now they're out, so you got to repair your nets, but eventually they're going to be in, and then you can go out and you'll be prepared. You'll have your nets all fixed. So you'll be good. Okay, Ms. Feliz. I pulled Yang in the protection mode. We know Yang, that's that action. Let's go, let's go. So let's see what in protection mode it means. So be mindful of the tendency toward impulsive action, overconfidence, and aggressive behavior. Think before you act, lest you find yourself in a situation that will lead to uncomfortable consequences. Be sure you really want what you're chasing after, because you might be sorry when you get it, right? Some of us, you know, like in this one, you know, in that the relationship that's went awry, and you're like trying so hard to keep the guy, and it's, you know, and it's, you might get them back, but if you got them back, you probably don't want them back. Like there's a reason why the relationship broke apart, right? Sometimes that's what this message is. Be careful what you want, because you might get it. You might get it and then be sorry. So the appearance of this card isn't a cause for fear, for life is all about learning lessons. Practice temperaments, diplomacy, and thoughtful consideration before making a move, right? So this is where with Yang, it's that make the first move, do it, go, drive, determination, right? Like very masculine energy. And when it's in the protection mode, it's not to not have any action. It's just to maybe like pause, think about it, and then do the action, because you don't want to be doing it impulsively or aggressively. So it's just that pause and then do action. Not a yin state of receptivity, but just that pause before making the action. So that's what your message is, Ms. Feliz. All right, Ashley and then Crystal. Is Ashley still there? And after Ashley, Crystal, Renee, Charmaine, and Jess. Ashley for finance. Okay, perfect. Great message, Ms. Feliz. Perfect. You definitely can get on the list, Melinda. Right now, on the list. Done. You're welcome. So I pulled you between worlds in protection mode. Hello, good morning from San Diego. Marla, how are you? All right. So Ashley, finance. So this is in protection mode, and because it's in protection mode, I read the protection message and we'll see what we can determine from it in the realm of finances. Okay. So in this one here, between worlds, the essential meaning, if it was in this space, would be transitions, not quite being out of one situation and fully engaged in another, temporary blindness, no man's land. So this is like that. You've made a change and you've let go. You've let go of the other place, but you're not quite to the new place. That's what that. Now in protection mode, what it's saying for you, Ashley, is be mindful of your expectation. This is not a time for guarantees. Things will not go exactly as you plan or dictate. Let go and see what spirit has in store. What takes hold in your life will be better than you imagine. So are you trying to control or predict the outcome of a situation? And then this message is telling you to just allow it to naturally flow the way that it's going to be flowing. Still sick. Oh my goodness. I have to do that healing energy, healing session. And I know you're taking care of that, but I feel like you need more. Yeah. So just let go a little bit, let go, practice acceptance of what comes to you. Because sometimes, right, and then I talk about this with like relationships or even with money in a specific form. If I'm like, I need to make money with my oracle cards, and God's like, yeah, but there's tarot cards. And I'm like, that has to be with my oracle cards. And he's like, but the tarot cards. And I'm like, but the oracle, right? If I let go and I just allow it to come, maybe this would come in and I'd be like just abundant and, I'd be making a ton of money on it, right? So an egg cleanse. I've never heard of an egg cleanse. That sounds interesting though. So yeah, just allow whatever comes to come to you because it could be better than you imagine. So Crystal, your turn for the card, Crystal. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm just curious, like why? Because like, especially with like, yeah, I would love. We should have a talk. I mean, next Wednesday we're going to get together anyway, but we should have a talk before then. All right. Awesome. Do you have a specific area in which you'd like the question asked, Crystal? Well, it's okay because I pulled it in protection mode. So you're going to get the protection message, which is serendipity. Okay. All right. Serendipity number 18. And it's just going to be the message that you get is the way that goes. So we'll talk about the essential meaning. So if serendipity had been pulled up in the upright position, it would talk about opportunity allied with readiness, the awareness of synchronicity, luck and good fortune appearing as signs and symbols, and a magical alignment of events. But when it's in protection mode, yeah, I need to hear about, I need this information. I have 2 people now talking about an egg cleanse. Have you heard of an egg cleanse, Marla? Let's see, we can figure out what this egg cleanse is and try it out. Yeah. So the protection message for you, Crystal, is perhaps you felt almost certain that serendipitous events were meant to lead to something better. It was supposed to be the perfect business, or that person you gave your heart to was supposed to be the one, yet it all fell apart. Consider this. Sometimes synchronicity and serendipity come together to lead you directly into difficulties in order to deliver an important message you need to learn before you hit the jackpot. Don't get caught up in the drama of disappointment. There really is a silver lining to this cloud. Spirit always knows what you need and is guiding you to where you're meant to go. Pay attention to the signs that are present to you. So we get signs in all kinds of different ways. Oh, allergic to eggs. So maybe no egg cleanse for Marla. But I still want to know about this egg cleanse because it could be something that I need to have in my healing repertoire. Egg cleanse, an egg cleanse. I've never heard of this egg cleanse, but I as someone who, I love anything that's wellness, right? That's why I work with a Sharma and, do all of these things, because the stuff that I want to help people with when it comes to trauma, I want it to be a breathing exercise. You have the ability to breathe no matter where you are. You have the ability to breathe. It's free, right? You can control the breath, right? The same thing with, with eating. Yes, there's definitely a financial component to eating healthier versus eating unhealthy, because it's, you can go and buy big bags of chips and pop and stuff, and that's cheaper than going and buying a bag of lettuce. But I would hope that you can find a way to buy the lettuce, right? Or eat the healthiest version that you can afford for food. But I try to come up with things that are really cheap, that are really, you take an egg and rub it all over your body. That is, I'm just like staring at the comment. It's like, just all of a sudden, here's Tanya I'm just staring and like dumbfounded. You just rub it all over your body. I don't know if you'd get sick from that, Marla. I'm not sure. On the phone for a job application? Nice. So, Crystal, did that make sense to you though with the protection message, that you felt like something was really aligned with you and things were gonna go really well and then they seem to fall apart? There we go. I hope, yeah. So that's a tough time, and I try with my experiences to say, like, what did I learn from this? What was the lesson that I could learn from it? And sometimes it's that lesson that you learn that actually is the best thing for you. A straw of hay in the egg. So straw of egg in the hay. Straw of hay in the egg, not a straw of egg in the hay. Straw of hay in the egg. And then rub it all over your body. And there's your cleanse. I'm like super curious about this. Love you, sweetie. Maybe if I was going to do anything, I would try the organic. I would go with the organic first. I would definitely, if I was going to. All right. After Crystal is Renee. Are you still there, Renee? Did you hang on long enough? And then Charmaine, Jess, and Melinda. Okay. So Renee, if you're still there, let me know. Awesome. Awesome. All righty. Let's see what we've got for Renee. The fates in protection mode. Yeah, definitely let me know, Marla. No, so you rub the egg before it's cracked and pray while doing it. Okay, so we're getting instructions now. Ms. Felice has got us with our instructions. Okay. So rub the egg before it's cracked and pray it. You rub the egg with the hay. The hay. Oh, I know what you're doing now. So you rub the egg all over your body and you give all your negativity to the little chickie. Is that what we're really doing? You're gonna give all your stuff to the little baby egg. We're gonna dial this in. We're gonna figure this out. We're gonna know what we're doing here. That's oh, that's cool. Okay, so Renee, the fates in protection mode, number 17. Did I actually go to the right spot? I did. I did. I got there. All right. So when the fates is in regular mode, it talks about when it's in the regular mode, I just got my notification about my class in a half an hour. So in the regular mode, it's fate, karma, acceptance that there are things you can't change and knowing what those things are. But in protection mode, it says it is difficult to understand why painful things happen to good people. Fate is a mystery after all. Yet what do we do with our circumstances? The way in which we respond to life's challenges is how we rise up to greet our destiny. Now is one of those times to be aware of your powerlessness to change certain situations. And this is for Renee. Never mind. Whew, I got scared. I thought that I was like, oh my God, am I reading yours already? And you're not here. Never mind. Sorry, Renee. Now is one of those times to be aware of your powerlessness to change certain situations and surrender to acceptance. Hang in there. Life will only get better. Act as if you believe that, for the only thing you can control right now is your attitude. When you align with the fates, being mindful of what you can and cannot change, serenity will come to you. So that the whole serenity prayer, right? We accept the things that you can change the things that you can change. I can figure it. I can say it. I swear I can. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. That prayer is what is summed up in the fates, right? So there's really a big dose of acceptance of what you're powerless to change, right? But we can change our attitude. We can control our attitude, right? So if you just believe that everything is happening for a reason, everything is going to turn out and be okay, and just try to navigate through that with as much positive energy as you can. Believe the outcome is going to come to you in the way that you want it to, and feel like the outcome is going to come to you in the way that you want it to. And that's the best way that you can manifest. You have to think it and feel it, and then make it happen. Alrighty. So after Renee is Charmaine. Charmaine, are you still there? And if not Charmaine, we're off to Jess and then Melinda. And by then we're probably, oh, what's that one? After. You're so welcome, Renee. You're so welcome. Sending you some warmth for sure. Some love and compassion. I'm interested to know the serenity prayer has another bit to it. And I don't know what it is. All right, Charmaine, are you there? That card's not. Hi, Harleen. Well, you can ask, and I will be honest in answering to you, Melissa. Okay. Well, I haven't heard from Charmaine yet, so I'm going to go on to Jess. Okay. And then if Charmaine comes back, I will. Oh, so asthma is, it can be associated with Debbie, you're coming up. I have Jess and then Melinda. So Jess, I have your card here. You're up in, so Jess, Melinda, and then you, Debbie, okay? Yeah, because, and that's the way that asthma is, right? And it's one of those things, unfortunately, with asthma that, you know, they do have some linkage to asthma being, you know, an autoimmune disorder or being a result of trauma, right? So for some of us, though, we can control our asthma better because of reducing things like milk products, because for some of us, we create mucus, like a lot of mucus with the milk products is what ends up happening, which affects our lungs, right? So there's certain little things that we can tweak to make it a little more manageable. I say, you know, with anybody, if you deal with your trauma and your underlying mental illnesses and stuff like that, and you get yourself to a healthy spot mentally and spiritually as well as physically. Yeah. And that's not, I mean, I've seen people that have to take puffers every hour, or taking, you know, puffers 4 times a day, and multiple puffers too, right? Like they get the Ventolin and the Atrovent and the, you know, the Spiriva and, you know, the Combivent, and they have all these different puffers and they take them 4 times a day. So taking it 2 times a day, you're not too bad. You're not too bad, but definitely like reduce the milk products. Like if you do drink milk, like reduce the milk products in your diet and see if that doesn't help you with some of the stuff. And then dealing and making sure that you're not in your trauma, in a stress response, right? When we're in fight or flight, our immune system gets depleted. So then we're more apt to get infections, and our inflammation is higher when we're in those states too. So that's why you want to work on those things. Okay. Oh, geez, that's scary. So for Jess, I pulled To the Sea in protection mode. Okay, Jess, number 7 in protection mode. We'll just read the protection message. Okay. So when external conditions appear to block every attempt to move forward, there is no hidden message for you to decipher. Like the ocean, the tides of experience ebb and flow. You are in a natural cycle, so know that things will flow again in due course. There is no cause for alarm. Stop resisting and fighting against the situation and learn to flow even when the tide is going out. Relax and trust in the abundance that will soon be within your reach again. As ancient mariners say, When fishermen cannot go to sea, they stay home and repair their nets. So same thing as what we had with, I can't remember who got that card. Can't remember. Ashley, maybe. I think it might have been Ashley. So yeah, it's just more of a time of just like work on things internally, or work on things in your home front, work on things in your immediate space, and just allow things to flow, and eventually things will pick up again and go. But as long as you're just controlling what you can, which is you and your reaction to things. Okay, so work on that part. All right, Melinda, love, and then Debbie. Okay, and then probably after that, I might have to jump off because we'll be getting close to time for school. So cool going to school. I love school though. I love learning things. Really love learning things. You're welcome, Jess. Okay, Melinda. We're getting a lot of protection cards today. Today, they were a lot in protection mode. So, milk and honey in protection mode, my dear, which is number 51. So, a cool thing about numbers, if you double all the numbers, I went through this the other day talking about numbers, right? When we look at the importance of 3, 6, 9. But like if you double 1, if you double the number 1, you get 2. If you double 2, you get 4. If you double 4, you get 8. If you double 8, you get 16, which gets reduced down to 7. If you double 16, you get 32, which gets reduced down to 5. If you double 32, you get 64, which becomes 10, which gets reduced down to 1. So in the cycle of repeating numbers, like if you double up the numbers, you only get the numbers 1, 2, 5, 7, 8, and those are the numbers that repeat. So 1, 2, 4, 7, 8. 1, 2, 4, 7, 8. We don't ever see 3, 6, or 9 in the numbers. But anytime that you multiply anything by 9, sorry, I'm just going right on past it. How about I tell you what your message is, Melinda, of milk and honey in the protection mode before I just close the book on it. So yeah, just fascinating. And everything to do with time, you can get 3 and 6 and, 60 minutes, 60 seconds, 24 hours, 2 and 4 becomes 6, right? So all of those things. And in circles, you get, like in the circumference, so 180 degrees, you get 9. So just weird that you only find numbers in time, space, and dimension of that 3, 6, 9. And then when you're looking at mathematics, you get 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8. Those numbers repeat through. Don't know why that came to mind right now. But anyway, Melinda, a nameless unease compels you to return to pleasure and comfort as a mean to escape what's really going on. It works in the moment, but only fleetingly, before the feelings return and you need to re-up until you're exhausted. Feeling worse than before, you may continue struggling, or you may see the light and choose to surrender to spirit. Now is the time for practicing extreme self-care. If you can, do so before you engage in behaviors you'll regret later. You are so loved, so cared for. Feel love and compassion for yourself. Turn your troubles over to the divine for healing. That's all that counts right now. So that when that is in that milk and honey, right? And we're in that, and that's what the card is milk and honey. Milk and honey is that sweet stage where life's just beautiful and things are flowing to you and it's abundant and, like just life is really, really good. But when it's in that protection mode, right, it's asking you to just focus on yourself, do the self-care that, it's okay. Right. If we get into that of abundance, right, like, so, if I start numbing out watching TV, that's not really going to help me. Right. Or if I avoid dealing with the situation, and sometimes we have worse ones, right, where we lead to food for comfort, or, some of us, drink every night when we come home from work because we're stressed out about our job. So we drink, which that doesn't help us. That's not good self-care. Right. So if we can replace, those types of coping things that we have that maybe aren't the best for us with other things that are better for us and do self-care, that's what the card's asking you to do at this time, Melinda. is to make sure that you're doing good self-care. And don't worry that it'll pass. Everything will be good, but you need to focus on yourself and do that self-care. Okay, Debbie, this is your card. And then, like I said, I'm going to pop off because we are past the time. We are past the time, but not terribly. 10 quarter after. I'm not too sad about finishing it off at quarter after. But Debbie, this is your card. If you have any specific area that you want the question asked in, let me know. But I pulled it in protection. All these cards in protection mode today. Is very interesting. So mending in protection. So mending, normally when it's in the upright, it talks about forgiveness, making amends, and healing after arguments. You have a wonderful day too. Let me know if you do the egg cleanse. I'm interested to know how that goes for you. Okay. But when it's in the protection mode, instead of talking about forgiveness, making amends, and healing after arguments, what the message says is, heartbreak is a strange healer of souls. Our grief strips away our masks and loosens our tight hold on our separateness, where we view ourselves as I and the world as it. Loss allows us to see ourselves as part of a larger scheme, opening us up to sympathy, empathy, and dependence on others in the moment when we can't hold ourselves together. And it leads us to become one with the greater whole again. Pain and suffering is a part of life, and none of us will be immune to it. Can you view this loss, this pain, this dissonance as a way back to source? Let your sorrow break your heart wide open. You will never be left behind. You are loved now more than ever by Spirit who does not want you to feel alone. One day you will look back and know this truth. Sorry, my son's calling, all of that stuff. So yeah, so for you, Melinda, I can't remember. So yeah. Hopefully that's a good message for you. Okay. Yeah. You're welcome, Debbie. So yeah, I'm going to hop off now though, because like I said, I've got a class in 15 minutes and I drink coffee. So that means I need to go to the little ladies' room beforehand, but I will be back from 9 a.m. till 10 tomorrow. So you can get a free card pull then, or you can exchange gifts for cards. That works for me too. And yeah, we'll hang out for at least an hour tomorrow and see where we don't get. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me. And I hope that the cards and that gave you some clarity, and some of the other tips that I shared can help you with your day. But if you want to delve deep, or you want to work one-on-one with me, or you even want to try out this sacred journey, I have some great prices for the rest of this year. And then next year, they're going to go up again. So if you want to get in on that, now would be the time before the end of December. So yeah, just connect with me if you want more information. And I'm all over Facebook, and I'm all over. I'm trying to remember. I feel like it was Milk and Honey in protection mode. That card that I got for you, Melinda. I feel that it was Milk and Honey. It would help to pick up the right book, but Milk and Honey in protection mode. So just give me one sec. Because it was talking about and I'm certain that this was what the card was. So a nameless unease compels you to turn to pleasure and comfort as a means of escape of what's really going on. So I was talking about how sometimes we have, like habits to numb out, or like I'm feeling bad, so I'm going to eat cupcakes, or I'm struggling, or I'm stressed out, so I'm going to drink wine every night when I come home. Or I'm, stressed out, so I'm going to just binge watch Netflix. I'm just going to do a Netflix marathon because I don't want to deal with it. So what the card was saying was, not to avoid, right? The longer that we avoid dealing with our stuff, the more that we struggle with it. So to look at really good areas of self-care, coloring would be an amazing and a good option for self-care, right? It's a really good one for self-care. And exactly, the recording would be available. Okay. So yeah, that's what I got for that was it was the milk and honey in protection. So definitely do some self-care and make sure it's proper self-care. Okay. Perfect. Love you guys. Love you. Thank you so much, you guys, for attending. Love you. And I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow. Bye, guys. Bye, guys. Oh, let's see if we can hit the button.